I saw DJ a few days before the rematch against Adriano. How's the preparation going?
Preparation is great. We're here in Singapore in the Evolve. Just going through the motions, bringing out the media. Weight feels good. Feel good. We're staying on a U.S. time zone, so we're just going through the motions through the days and waiting for the fight.
You mentioned in a previous interview with One Championship that you're focused more on BJJ right now. So,
yeah,
when did you realize that?
Well, when I said that, that's more the aspect of like getting ready for fights gets redundant and it gets monotonous, especially when you're fighting the same person again, right? There's only so much content that you can watch in that person and study. So for me, I found an amazing grappling gym by my house, Professor Yan Grapple Club. So with that, I kind of substituted my grappling. I started doing more grappling than going to the gym and lifting weights and doing cardio because I never got tired in my fights. So I instead of like, okay, let's go to the gym and push our heart rate to 185 beats a minute, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, and Friday morning, I'd be like, okay, why don't you substitute that with, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? So it's more practical into what I do in mixed martial arts. So I just basically added more workload of mixed martial arts training to my training camps than I have in the past, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Speaking of rematches, you've had few before, but what's the difference between your previous rematches against Triple C with Adriano?
It's just back to back. I had one fight against Rotang, which was a super fight, and we're right back in the fight against Adriano. So nothing too different, Obviously, Adriano is Adriano. He's a big guy for the flyweight division, and just gonna go out there and fight.
Speaking of Adriano, in 2021 there was a bit of trash talk between you two.
What was that?
There was a bit of trash talk between you two. Just a bit.
What did I say? What did you say?
Oh yeah, because I asked this before. He said he was gonna knock you out, and I asked you that. He was gonna knock you out.
Oh, I don't see that trash talk.
Yeah, so.
Not where I'm from.
But now it's a bit of more of a light-hearted atmosphere between you two. So, what do you prefer? A bit of animosity or just
doesn't bother me? I just saw him this morning. We said, "What's up?" I'm chill. Like, I'm literally chill. This is, I'll share 25 minutes with this man. Again, if we go the full distance, and after that, I'm on to the next thing. I'm already thinking about what I'm doing when I'm getting home. I'm thinking about the next time we're working on my stream. I'm thinking about t-shirts design. Like, I'm always, I'm showing up, I'm fighting, going out there, giving it my all. And then after that, move on to the next one.
All right, speaking of streaming, you're an avid gamer. How important is it for you that you have an avenue outside of fighting? You can distress and stuff.
Oh, I think it's a huge avenue. I have other things. I have my family, my children, and their passions. They're into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu now. My oldest is into riding dirt bike. Middle one is kind of crazy like me with anime, and my daughter, she's a daughter. So I think it's important to have that because fighting is a short part of your life, and I think having other things to fall back on to keep you going through life is very important.
You've mentioned anime. I gotta ask you this: what's your favorite anime?
Right now, anime is kind of dry right now. We're waiting for Jujutsu Kaisen to come back out. I saw that movie. We're gonna go try to see Dragon Ball Superheroes when we're out here. So. But right now, if I had to pick one, it'll probably be Berserk. It'll probably be Berserk, but the author just died, so hopefully they'll pick that up and continue it.
How about Demon Slayer?
Demon Slayer is legit, but it's kinda Demon Slayer is legit, but I want to put it there as one of my favorites.
Okay. You've mentioned in your previous interviews that you've been acknowledging that you're the GOAT now. So how does it feel to personally say that you're the GOAT?
Well, I acknowledge that one of the best flyweights ever walked this planet Earth. Yeah, 1,000%. I'll say it. As far as the greatest of all time, like John Jones, Khabib, all those guys, I leave that for the community. But there hasn't been a flyweight out there who's done what I've done and who opposes his will in his game, right? I truly believe that. The stats speak for themselves, even over in America and here. So, yeah, for me, I'll say it.
You spent a few weeks in Arizona before training with Triple C. What did the guy taught you? What did the guy teach you?
Oh, we just vibed out. We just worked out together, trained, and shared knowledge amongst each other. And that was it.
Just one question. You mentioned cardio. You never get tired in your fights? Does being a father of three help this cardio build up?
It just no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It just helps your patience, and it just helps. But there's more to life than winning and losing. You know what I mean? I did an interview when I was in New York City talking about that, right? Like, I see my children, they're growing up, and I want to raise amazing human beings. And, they're going to suffer, defeat in their life. And I tell them, I was like, dude, it's all good. It's like, as long as if you let it affect your day-to-day life, then yes, like it can, harm your mindset with the situation, whatever it may be. But for me, I've lost before. I've lost world title fights before. When I lost the last time to Adriano, I was like, it is what it is. We went home and got back in the gym and continued to train. I think the fight, when it's my very, very last fight, that's when I think my mindset is going to be completely different, because I know there won't be another one after that. You know what I mean? Like, I know after this fight, we're going to lose. There's going to be another one after this. And I know it's just going to be as big, whether it's against Adriano or whoever it is, because, people like to see me fight. So that's just my mindset.
That first fight obviously didn't go the way you planned.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any doubt in your mind coming into this one that you might not get the result that you wanted?
No, I think I hinted on this. Not hinted, but I spoke upon this before. I think mentally, to have a healthy mind, I think it's good to play out both scenarios in your mind, right? In all my title fights, I remember when I was getting ready to fight, what's his name? Wilson Hayes. I was ready to defend my belt against him in Kansas City, and I had doubt. I was like, oh my God, he's gonna get my fucking back and choke me out. Oh my God. And then I also had visioned me blowing the bricks off him. So I envisioned the same thing against Adriano. I've gone out there and blown the bricks off him, and also envision me having a long night and coming up shorthanded again. So I think mentally and healthy for an athlete, I think it's very important to go through those scenarios in your head, because when people get on that, I'm never gonna lose. Don't trust me. I used to be one of those guys, and then when I suffered my first loss against Brad Pickett, I was like, holy shit, you can't lose. So for me, I'm fully prepared. I'm very confident in my skill set. Very confident in my training for this fight, and go out there and give it hell.
Okay, so you shared the circle with him the first time. Didn't really know what to expect that first time. Do you know what he's about now? Are you better prepared for his kind of style? What's the most difficult thing about fighting him?
I would say the most difficult thing about fighting him is that obviously seeing him fight, you watch tape on somebody, then you fight him, and then you watch him fight live, and it's like, fuck, he does do that. And the biggest thing is that he's just a very patient athlete when he goes about his fights. And so I'm not a patient person. Like, if I'm going to go out there, I'm going to go out with my shield, and sometimes that's my weakness, is that I want to get in there and I want to fight immediately. So can I play the distance game? 1,000%. I can play that game. It's very easy to do it. You just stay away from your opponent and never engage. It's very boring. Fans don't like that, right? And I think that's why I would assume I'm very popular amongst the fans, is that I go out there and I just give them all. If I get knocked the fuck out, I'm like, hey, good ass knee. Good ass knee. I'm going to go home and train. I'll be back in 3 to 6 months, and you'll see me again. And I think fans like that, and I think they like to, respect that mindset and attitude. And I think it kind of rubs off on them. It's like, hey, it's okay to lose. It depends on how you move forward with it.
Last question. What can fans expect from you this Friday night?
Y'all know what to expect from me. Let's come out there and fight.
Are you going to get out the arena with a belt?
What's that?
Are you going to leave the arena with a belt?
That's the plan.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, DJ.
You're welcome. Is that all?
Yeah.
Ano bang mabigyan?